I used to be available all the time. When someone texts, I answered. When someone called, I picked up. Even if I was busy, I still made time, even if I wasn't in the mood. I thought this made me a good person, someone dependable, loyal, or even mature. It took me years to realize what I thought was kindness was actually self abandoned. Carl Jung wrote about something called persona. The persona, the version of ourselves we present to the world. It's not necessarily fake, it's curated. It's who we think we need to be to survive in social settings. The problem is, if you over identify with that mask, you lose your actual self underneath. That's what happened to me. I became my availability. My entire identity was built around being easy to reach, easy to talk to, easy to rely on. I was always there, even when I wasn't really there. But something shifts when you stop being constantly available. At first, people are confused. Some even get angry. They say, "What happened to you?" Or the classic, "You've changed." But I hadn't changed. I had just stopped abandoning myself to meet their expectations. Jung called this the process individualization. It's the idea that you have to separate from the social roles and expectations that shape you. Instead, become who you actually are. That sounds obvious, but in practice, it's uncomfortable because becoming who you truly are often means disappointing people who were benefiting from who you used to be. For me, the wake up call came gradually. I've noticed how drained I felt after social events, how anxious I became when I hadn't responded to messages fast enough, how I would keep my phone near me, not because I wanted to connect, but because I was afraid of missing something and being seen as rude. It's not that I didn't care about people. I cared too much, and it was killing my sense of peace. There's this illusion that constant availability equals love or loyalty or strength, but it's often the opposite. When you are always on call for other people, you start to neglect your own mind, your own direction, your own sanity. Eventually, I tried something radical. I just didn't reply right away. I turned my phone off for hours. I stopped saying yes out of guilt. I let a few calls go to voicemail. And the world didn't end, but something did change. People began to approach me differently. Some with more respect, others with distance. The ones who were only around for convenience slowly disappeared. And for a while, I worried that maybe I was being cold or arrogant. But then I remembered something Jung said. Solitude is for me a fount of healing which makes my life worth living. He wasn't romanticizing loneliness. He was explaining that real growth doesn't happen in constant reaction to others. It happens in quiet and reflection, in choosing your own rhythm instead of running on everyone else's schedule. And when you do that, when you reclaim your time, people start to notice. Some resent you, others admire you, but they can't ignore it. That's the paradox. When you are always around, people take you for granted. When you withdraw, you become visible. Because presence, when it's not constant, becomes valuable. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's not manipulation. It's about living with intention. If your attention is scattered across 100 conversations. You have no attention left for yourself. And what Jung understood is that you don't develop the inner self, your actual personality, your values, your vision. You become a hollow shell of what other people want you to be. That hollowness shows up in strange ways. You become irritable. You burn out. You say yes when you mean no. You start to resent the people you love, not because they are doing anything wrong, but because you never gave yourself permission to say, I need space. We are taught to fear space, to fear silence. We associate solitude with loneliness, unavailability with rejection. But think about it. The people you respect the most, the ones who seem calm, they are not glued to their phones. They are not reacting to everything in real time. They create distance, and that distance, they gain perspective. I used to think the more present I was in everyone else's life, the more connected I would feel. But the opposite was true. The more I inserted myself into everything, the more I lost track of who I was. Now, I don't apologize for being unavailable. I don't feel guilt for taking a while to respond. I don't force myself to pick up the phone when I'm not mentally present. I'd rather be fully present for 5 minutes than half present all day. Carl Jung believed that modern people suffer not because of too little contact, but too much. Too much noise, too much unconscious behavior, too much dependence on others to tell us who we are. So now, I protect my time. And here's the irony. The less available I am, the more meaningful my relationships have become. Because I actually have something to bring to the table. When you stop being constantly available, you stop living in response to other people's demands. You begin living in alignment with your own truth. And yes, some people won't like it. They'll say you're distant, that you are selfish. But the people who respect your growth, they'll stay or they'll return. And this time you'll meet them not as a version of yourself built around their comfort, but as someone real, someone who is themselves, authentic. That's what Jung meant by individualization. You don't find yourself by chasing people. You find yourself by letting yourself be alone long enough to hear the signal beneath all the noise. Stop being so available. The right people will find you anyway, and this time they'll meet the real you, the authentic you. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe. Also follow my Twitter. I've been really active on there. I guess you can call it X, but ignore the air it comes on. I know it can make my videos sound pretty terrible because of the, sounds, but ignore that. If you enjoyed this video, comment down below. What would you like to hear next? I've been doing a lot of reading. I've been reading about AI. I'll probably have an AI video coming out soon. I want to have a little bit more information, so I'm not just saying gibberish stuff that doesn't make sense, but that's all I have to say. If I messed up on any words, I apologize. I've been drinking a lot of water here lately, so because my mouth, it's really, it's not dry, and it can mess up. It can make you mess up when you speak, as crazy as that sounds. Also, I didn't show my face that much because of my hair. You see it, as you can see. Look at that. But if you do like me having, video games in the background, like, Valorant or Marvel Rivals, just let me know, and I'll keep doing it. I'm trying new editing styles, but if you don't like it, just let me know and I'll stop it. I hope you all have a great day.